tales can come true.
Well, good morning.
It can happen to you.
As you see on the tape, it is November 1992, and Ray and I thought we'd get together and I would tell you a little bit about my history, myself, and something you can have after I'm gone, for what it's worth. I was born in 1925, June 26th, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I grew up in the neighborhood of 1419 Felton Street, West Philadelphia, which at the time was a very, very nice neighborhood, and now it's very run down and very poor. I lived in Wayne, Pennsylvania, went to Radnor High School, had a good time. In the 11th grade I was a cheerleader, in the 10th grade I was a cheerleader. And Pearl Harbor came along, and the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and I wanted to get in the Navy. Well, in March '42, I was finally accepted into the Navy. At 18, when you went in the Navy in those days, you could go in for 6 years as a regular Navy man, or boy. I was a boy. And so I chose, absolutely, I want to go in 6 years because I wanted to be in the Navy my whole life. Stayed in the Navy 20 years. I met Shirley in the late '49, early '49, and we dated a few times. And then eventually we decided we'd get married on her birthday, which was March 3rd. We got married on March 5th, I believe. And lived happily ever after, at least until we got a divorce. But we're still living happily ever after. Shirley's happy and I'm happy. We had 2 lovely children, which I think you people know if you haven't met each other. One's Roanne and one's Susan. After Shirley and I got divorced, I started dating Billy, and then we got married. We had John. John was born in '69, July 10th. When I was young, I guess when I was about 19 or 20, I started having these ideas that a family friend named Leo Fenimore, who was a boarder at our house many times, I started to think that he was my father, because I would look at picture albums and I'd notice that Tom Mark Sr. did not look like Tom Mark Jr. Anyhow, over the years, it was obvious to me more and more that Leo Fenimore was my father. He treated me as a father. He was a very loving man, and I loved him. But we never ever broached the subject, and I never challenged him on it. He died in 1964 in September, and I guess that's a mistake that I made. I should have tried to let him know that I knew he was my father and I loved him, but I didn't. But you can't fix yesterday, so I don't worry about it. When you sit down to talk about these things, you have a lot of ideas before the time comes, and then when you sit down, you're not sure what you want to talk about. I'm not really sure what you want to hear. It probably would be good if you were here and made questions or provided questions, and I could answer them. But no one would get a word in edgewise, because Susan would be asking all the questions and not listening to the answers, but getting ready for the next question. Having you 3 kids is the greatest joy of my life. I don't care. They say, oh, your honeymoon was the greatest joy, or you're marrying your wife. But I think the 3 children, I was blessed by 3 of the greatest kids in the world. My philosophy, as I told you, is always live for the moment and enjoy the moment. So many people project, well, I'm going to go on a cruise next month, or I'm going to do this next month or next week. Tomorrow I'm going to do this, and then they wake up one day and they find out that all your tomorrows are yesterday. So as you get older, whenever you view this or have this tape, remember that my feelings are enjoy the moment. If you want to do something that you think will make you happy, do it. I enjoy so many of my memories because I've done them spontaneously and done them with a lot of great people. And you'll find as you get older that if you learn not to put things off for some other time when you think it'll be great, do it now. Live for the moment. You've only got today. And the most precious thing in life is your friends. I have so many, and I've been blessed with such a wonderful family that nothing can take that place. don't grieve. I don't like grieving, and I feel that that's a waste of energy and a waste of time. And when I'm gone, say, hey, he had a ball and we enjoyed having him. But grieving, that sucks. Don't worry about grieving. Outside of that, I guess that's about all I have to say. If I think of something else I may add to this tape, I may not. But I just want to tell you that I appreciate all your love, and I dearly love all of you. Thanks again for listening and watching this ridiculous fiasco that I put on tape.
It has to be you. Oh, yeah. Wonderful you. When we get to town, you'll show us around the gamut we'll go through. You're never too tired to help out a friend. If new breaks are required, Tom is inspired. A hand he will lend. Some others are tall, may even have hair, but Dad has a heart, and that's best of all, 'cause when you need him, he's there. Yeah. Nobody else gives us a thrill. Why, you should see what he does with his drill. The list is too long to put in this song. The wonders of Tom.
I don't need a microphone, I got a big mouth.
It's a speaking class.
Get reading classes. Well, I want to stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Are you standing up yet?
All right. See if I can do this without crying. I want to thank you all for coming to my surprise birthday party. When I saw the invitation list of 186 people, I was very surprised at how many showed up. Some of you have known me for a long time, and some others not so long. These are the lucky people.
Those are the ones that are here.
I hope the food was to your satisfaction. My children went to great lengths to have the prime rib turn out well, and the dessert came from France. Seriously, it was great visiting with you all, and to find out that I still have a few friends left. After all the years I've worked hard on alienating people. I'll be 70 years old tomorrow, but age is a state of intelligence, so I'm actually quite young. As it has been said, we don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing. As I look out into the sea of humanity, I see Lee Avery, who owes me many drinks now, a bet we made a while back, but I still love this man. Bill Riley and I go back to the days when the government did everything that was necessary, good, and purposeful, as it does today, of course. Seriously, and this is very serious, I know of no other person that I have met that has more integrity than this dear friend. Don Arnold is always at my side to make me slow down and follow directions. Of course, his wife and I snicker behind his back and tear up the directions. Doug and Barbara are really special too. They've lived with me for some weeks a while back when they returned from Memphis on their big money-making deal. I used to hear them in the bedroom late at night. Doug kept saying, "Not now, dear, I got a headache." I have two more people here whom I consider family, Jim and Catherine Stern. They're in the back there. They're always coming to me for how-to instructions. That's when I say, I have a headache. Doc Rape is an old shipmate and was a student of mine in 19 something. And we're still on speaking terms. Maurice McMahon was my boss for many years. He always called me T-Mark 6. Now you can ask him why. Mac, you were always good to me, and you never brought the lash down too hard. Thank you very much. Frank, I need more salt. Now, in a little serious vein, my distant cousin Robert and his lady Gretchen are here from Wayne, Pennsylvania. They actually deserve a pat on the back, as they've been in and out of jail a few times. And they're working to overcome this shortcoming. As a matter of fact, they're out here on a furlough on the honors system. When my son was born, I was always hoping that I'd live long enough to see him get his first haircut. I was 45 at the time, and I did. And I'm sure glad, because since then, he's made me very, very happy and proud to have him as my son. I love him more than any of the rest of my sons. He speaks French fluently, so now he doesn't hurt my feelings when he smiles and really tells me off. My daughters are so special and I love them very much. They've always felt I loved the other one more.
I always knew you loved me more.
That's true, but I won't say which one. They worked very hard for this party, and they worked till 2 o'clock this morning.
Yay!
I want to give them a round of applause. To my favorite son-in-law, all of a dozen or so. I want to say thanks so much for taking Susan off my hands. Because I have definitely run out of questions and answers. Or at least run out of answers. To my lovely #1 wife, Shirley, I say I love you and thanks for loving me and giving me these 2 beautiful daughters who are still trying to figure out which one it is. And to Bob Short, I say thank you for introducing me to his little sister. If I miss mentioning anyone here, please forgive me. I'll get to you at my next 70th anniversary party. Again, to all of you, thanks again for coming. I really feel fortunate to know you all, and I'm grateful for all your love. It's been a hell of a trip so far. Oh yes, everyone please leave by 8:30 p.m. as the next group will be starting on the for coming to this affair, especially the people from Pennsylvania that flew in. I bet your arms are tired. I want to let you all know the love I feel for you today, my 3 wonderful children who are the greatest people any father could have ever shared his life with. When I was giving Joan and Patrick and Roanne a tour of this memorial a while back, Roanne said, "Oh, we got to get our dad's picture up here, too." I guess I groaned, but I want you all to know I'm very, very touched. I try not to let anyone know that I'm a softie, but in reality, love is everything what it's all about, and I'm grateful for the love of all my friends. I guess Don and Carol Arnold are my longest friends. Shirley and I raised our kids together. They had 2 and we had 2. Bob and Alice Short, they can't be here today because of illness, more or less to introduce Shirley and I to each other. Later we all became a family. Jack and Virginia Shelton were also with us in the early days. Bob and Jack and I taught school together at Sonar School. Doug and Barbara became part of my family when we were at Hamishaw Greens, filling containers. Boy, did we fill them. Jim and Kat Sturm rented a house to me way back when I was in between my many wives. During the days of my containers, I met Sharon Davis. She sold bathrooms. Gretchen came in here sometime a while back when she was a cop. Later she fell in love with California and came back, and then she married another cop, a tall cop of her dreams. Ruby became one of the loves of my life. She couldn't be here today also because of illness. Patrick and Joan became my family and shared their family with me. Actually, it was through my mentor, John Wilson, that Pat and Joan came into my life. He was always called Unc. I now share that title of Unc back east to all the McGinns. When Roanne married Mel, Hosmick and Grigor and the rest of Mel's family enriched my life as the years have gone by. Not leaving out Ray, Susan's husband, is very dear to me. Ray is still trying to overcome the drill incident, but he was brave and he married Roanne and married Susan anyhow. Now my son John, I guess, is the one I really love the most. Roanne and Sue, when they were little, used to say, "I love the other one more than her." And I used to reply, "Yes, I love the other one." Well, John is the one now, because he has access to a really neat restaurant. Moving on, I want to mention Dick and Marilyn Mason. Dick was a chief on a submarine years ago, and I met him while working on Puff's The Magic Dragon. We had not seen each other since the 60s, when one day he came up to me in a very fashionable upscale restaurant and said the magic words, "Are you the real Tom Mark?" I was, and since then Emma and I have been blessed with their friendship. They're great bridge players, no thanks to me. Last but not least, I used to play bridge with Jim and Emma Leisure. About 10 years ago, we became good friends. Jim passed away a while back, and soon Emma and I had our first real date, July 9th, 19th, somewhere in time. I love Emma and hope she will continue to put up with my rotten grammar, my nail biting, and my long hair that keeps blowing in her face as we poke along in my car. Again, I was happy to have been chosen to be honored here today by all of you. This honor makes one very humble. Thank you very, very much.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away.